Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yours are well. And you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my team subscribers. You're loved, celebrated, and of course, appreciated. All right, Majesties. This lady said something about Africa and those who have Africa bloodline. And her people are not happy with her because she, frankly said the truth. They are not happy. And it's not far from what we keep telling you here, especially on this channel, where I keep speaking this fact to you. And most of you think that is because Abigail is, that's why she is saying that. But no, these are facts that cannot be disputed. You remember when I was discussing with you here, we had a discussion about that white historian who said that the gods were attracted to black people. Why are the gods attracted to black people? Because melanin attracts divinity. And a lot of us don't understand. Now, when we talk about melanin, melanated, it's in different shade, right? There are those who are dark, dark, dark. There are those who are not that dark. There are those who are a bit lighter. But as far as you are African, you have the DNA, you have the melanin, you attract gods and goddesses. Why do you think that when it comes to talking about the spirit, the source of life, the creator, the melanated man perceive it in a very different light? When you talk about perception, understanding, hearing, the taste bud, how sounds are translated into our brains are all different from those other races. The taste of food in your mouth is different from the taste of food in a white man's mouth. I think I'm just being blunt here. And I believe this is not the first time you're hearing it. The way instruments are translated in your brain are different from the way they are translated in the head of a white man. And that is why our dance steps are different. We are more in tune. We are more in tune. I'm not saying that the white man, the white woman, or other races are not in tune. They are in tune. But the difference is that as a melanated man or woman, you are more in tune. I'm not saying the white people are not spiritual. They are spiritual. But the difference is that you are more. So whatever you think they are, you are more of it. If you think the white man can ascend to a particular level, you can ascend more. You only need to do the work. This is not looking down on any race. These are facts that cannot be disputed. I'm going to leave this historian's discussion and then I'll leave this lady what she said. You see how it connects and we take it up from there.
One of the things that has happened is that Greek and Roman mythology has somehow been disconnected, mainly in the 19th century by Europeans, and, to a certain extent whitewashed, right? Taken away from its Mediterranean roots. And, half of the Mediterranean is Africa, right? And we forget that. And the Greeks had a very different attitude to Africa, and that was they saw Ethiopia, Egypt, Kush, Kerma as very ancient and very advanced cultures and civilizations. For example, in Book 1 of the Iliad, the gods are not on Olympus. They've actually gone to the only humans who they deign worthy of their company to dine with, and that is the Ethiopian.
As for educational purposes only. African bloodlines did not begin with suffering, they began with sovereignty. Africans carry the primordial Edenic codes, the original resonance of Earth in her untampered form. And this isn't just spiritual, it's energetic biology. These codes are embedded in the mitochondrial DNA, in the melanin, in the soul memory of Earth's first divine experiment in physical form. Your frequency potential is not just higher, it's wider. And it's not about being higher on a ladder, but having access to the full keyboard of creation. Frequencies of light, sound, magnetism, and even pre-verbal communication are all encoded within your ancestral field. You can access multiple timelines and realms faster than those who carry diluted or altered genetic memory if You are spiritually activated, not suppressed by trauma, substances, parasitic implants, vaccines, and societal programming. This is why controllers fear you so deeply. The parasitic matrix specifically targets African bloodlines with distractions, engineered suffering, and spiritual amnesia. And if reawakened, you can not only collapse the matrix, but reseed Eden herself. And there are 3 frequency secrets. Your melanin is a conductor of multidimensional light. It is not pigment. It's an antenna that's living. It translates divine frequency into cellular command. African DNA carries untouched Atlantean and Lemurian memory. There were encoded voices speaking in harmony with Earth. That memory still exists within you, waiting to be triggered. The Edenic line holds the key to collective resurrection. When the true heirs reclaim their soul sovereignty, the frequency net shatters, and even the stars will align.
Yeah, Majesties. This is what I keep telling you here. I remember I made a video about this on my other channel, Abigail is Mary 2.0, and I was flagged by YouTube. It was taken down. They flagged my channel. Why do you think there is this effort put into hunt channels like ours? There are times that they shadow ban you. You make effort, you do researches to bring out information nobody watches. And you have a good number of subscribers, right? It's not because there is no credibility in what you say. It is because there is effort put in to just silence you. On this platform, on YouTube, is this far from what I keep telling you here? It's not because she said it. If you have bear witness, I have been saying this for over 2 years. And a good number of Africans, even still that from that time, still did not believe. They say it's not true. So maybe because it's coming from the white men, at least you heard the white man talk. You heard the white lady talk. So maybe because it's coming from them, the people you worship so much, you might believe. Doubt no longer, but believe. If you truly want to ascend to a particular level, as African is easier for you. You know, we have been so corrupted with a lot of things. You heard her saying it from this to that, from that to this. There are things they force us to take. There are things we take without even knowing. There are things that they've been put into our food. All these things. Why? I keep telling you, if this is not important, why are they making so much effort, dedicating so much amount of money just to see that Africa be destroyed? African continent, the melanated continent. Why is effort put in to see that Africa is destroyed intellectually, educationally, spiritually, economically? You know, in every ramification, there is effort put in to destroy us and all that we do. The hate is just in it. Because they know. They know what most of you do not know. And that is the power that is embedded in you as a melanated man and woman. We are totally different. I'm still going to leave a video again after this discussion so that you listen keenly to it and leave your thoughts and opinion there at this section. We're not just, the average person like everybody. Discover yourself. Understand who you are. Know that the power is in your hand. Everything that is invented in the planet Earth today has a touch of the melanated man or woman. Your Majesties, that is why we are emphatic, because we can feel the pain of other people. Okay? We feel the pain of other people. Because we have a soul. For you to have a soul, it means you have conscience, and your conscience is still alive. It's not dead. You feel other people's pain. You feel other people's sorrow. And the cunning one knew this. They took advantage of that, took advantage of our ancestors. When they came out of pity, ancestors taught them how to live, how to worship, how to connect with nature, connect with the divine, connect with the creator. What did they do in turn? They came back and colonized that which educated them. So, listen to this and leave your thoughts and opinion in the other section.
Hello, people. It's Mr. Reasoning here. What I'm going to tell you and what you're going to hear is gonna make you understand everything that I've been talking about in the past few weeks about these adverts that they keep showing about black man, white woman constantly, or mixed race couples and all that. Not that I ain't got nothing against mixed race relationships, because I've had them myself, right? So don't think I'm coming for you. No, that's not what this is about. It's about noticing what's going on the TV and in films, right? This is gonna answer the questions. And I said before, something's going on. This is gonna show you something's going on, right? First of all, let's start here. Listen.
Did you know that Africa is home to the most genetically diverse people on the planet? But what does that really mean? And why is African DNA so unique compared to the rest of the world? Think about this. Every single person on Earth can trace their ancestral roots back to Africa. That's right, whether you're living in Asia, Europe, the Americas, or Australia, the genetic blueprint of humanity began on the African continent. But how does that impact the way we view genetics, evolution, and even the future of medicine? Today, we're diving deep into the science, history, and cultural importance of African DNA. We'll explore its incredible diversity, what makes it different, and why it holds the key to unlocking some of the biggest mysteries about human health and evolution. So
we're gonna delve into this DNA thing is very interesting because it's a recent science, it's a new science, say about 80 years old, something like that. I think the first genome was discovered in the 1950s, and they've been breaking it down ever since, and more research. Now everybody's doing the DNA thing and all that stuff. So before that time, racism believed that there was all these different races, but what that man's telling you is everyone is one. We all are one race. Africa is the place where everybody started on this planet. Everyone can trace their deepest roots back to the continent of Africa. And DNA is now showing them that they need African DNA. They need to study it because they're finding out all this stuff about diseases and resistance to things and all kind of thing. You see, I was reading this, I do some research on this, right? I was reading this science book, paper about where white people came from, because I wanted to know, where did white people come from? How did they come about? And they come about in full about 8,500 years ago. Just 8,500 years ago, there's two genes that make up pale skin, right? And them genes are not visible in the DNA story until 8,500 years that they are there a lot. Before that time, everybody in the planet was some different shade of brown. Everybody was a different shade of brown, be it dark, that is black, or light, but it was brown all the time. And then about 8,500 years ago, some of that group lost all their pigmentation completely. Now, that group of brown people even had blue eyes, especially in Europe. In Europe, they keep finding these old skeletons, 10,000 years old.
They grow the Negroid race here first. They became known as the overseers, the watchers. They built many ancient lands and structures on this planet, which in time they deserted. The Riskians send little creatures called Greys from Zeta in Orion's belt every 10 years to check on their children, with whom they mix their DNA into 9 species of the Negroid race only. They first came to me at age 9 in New Jersey to set up a land, Nuwapia, for a landing site for your ancestors to return and lift those of you who have perfected their beings, cleansed inside out and outside in. Your DNA as males is from Orion. Your DNA as females is from Sirius star systems. And the Greys from Zeta beneath Orion's 3 suns, or the sun belt. So in actual fact, the African race are of divine origin and are in fact children of the overseers. This is seen as a bacteria implanted in your genetics as hominid genome, as was done by the overseers from Orion and Sirius. Your carbon C6 base form as black as coal grow from H1HCCON7O8 1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 equals 24. Hydrogen equals 1. Helium equals 2. Carbon equals 6. Nitrogen equals 7. Oxygen equals 8. In all, 24. There has been uncovered 223 extraterritorial genes in your 24,000 genomes that travel in sets of 3 on the genes. So they in fact implanted some of their own DNA into your own. You are encoded as divine. Black matter equals 24%. Black energy equals 76%. Dark energy is expanding. Dark matter is being pulled as the universe speeds up to freeze. The planet Earth, or the water world, is moving at a speed of 135 miles per second. You have been hypnotized 6,000 years ago by witches of the cursed evil seed of Enos, son of Seth, son of Adam, made by fallen ones of Anakim, Anunnaki, called Elohim, Alihat in the Bible and the Quran. The Anunnaki used the Pleiadians' DNA to graft and make Adumites, to Canaanites, to Canaanites. Their seeds was grafted, made and born 3,761 BCE, or 4004 BC, as they record, and was only given 6,000 years to enforce their hypnotic spell of sleep over you, which expires 2000 to 2003 AD, which is 6000 AC. AC is Adam's calendar. This is the gospel from the beginnings of beginnings. This is from the beginnings, which we have seen, which we have looked at and watched and have taught humans are the only creatures that know they will one day die. This has affected human thinking as the birth of fear. Don't let others cause your death before your physical or mental time. Fear came with uncertainty, or that led to faith and beliefs that became religions of beliefs to hopes and desires. This I Yanun proclaim concerning you and your life as Nuwapians. Life is both physical and spiritual. It appears we see them in actions and testifies to them. I Yanun proclaim to you the eternal soul, which or who is connected to the omniverse from the universe and has manipulated through us here on physical earth. So I proclaim to you what you can see and hear, so that you also may have links to all, as all of you, the all. Know this, left brain is male power analytical, and right brain is female images. These two must become one, perfection of thinking and doing energy in motion, or emotional beings, soul. This is the symbol of the braid worn on the left or the right side by the holder of the double helix of the mitochondria DNA, of female or M other, mother of us both. And the male wears his braid in the back to relate to the back of the medulla oblongata. Yet both mother and father, male and female, need to connect and use the frontal lobe of the brain and the pineal gland. This is a part of my message to you. You have heard from above and is declared to you. Intellect, do not become blinded by the brightness of white light of confusion and chaos. There is no light inside your being. Light is blinding. It is blindness or faith. Not intelligent or intelligence of fact. Even the Bible and the Quranic God dwell in darkness. Then said, let there be light. And with the light came chaos.